watch that.
I really liked it though.
You're having a problem doing it.
Okay, no, I don't have a problem doing it. We can do this, okay? Hi, we got a great show for you tonight. My name's Manny.
That's Terrence.
And these are the goods. So, we're going to start with some Suicide Squad news.
Okay.
Alright, so we have this thing where these franchises are rated R.
Okay.
Put out some good numbers, they put out some good content, and then they go and get sequelized and go PG-13. Now, our latest victim in the PG world, I guess, and it's not even a remake, I know, I don't even know why I said it, but the reason I said it is because of the content part. Suicide Squad will be PG-13. What do you think about it?
Actually, I don't have a problem with it at all because with it being a DC property, that they're trying to actually make sure it's open for everybody. They're not trying to limit their audience. They're trying to make sure that everybody, little kids can, kids 13 and above can go see it, and not limit them to just adults who may not be fans of the comic property. So if you limit it to rated R, you have to say like, who are fans of this particular comic book that want to come see the movie? So your audience is so small. If you do PG-13, you can say, okay, who are just fans of comic book movies in general? And then now their parents can say, I don't really care about this movie, but my kids kind of want to see it, and it's something within their age range that I can go take them to see. So that's why they need to do a PG-13. I know Deadpool's doing rated R, but that's because it's got a low budget and they are going to make money regardless. So they can take a chance and do a rated R movie and make $70 million on it and still make a profit on it, as opposed to Suicide Squad that has like $100 million budget or plus budget, because we haven't talked about with promotion on it, with advertising on it, $100 million budget, who says that if we make $150 million on this thing, we still lost money. So that's the reason why they have to do a PG-13. So that's kind of where I would sit on that, but
Okay, so first of all, I think that that DC's playing it safe.
Okay. Well, obviously.
I think they're playing it safe, and Marvel is going rated R with Deadpool because they've already got their fan base. They're winning this new Monday Night War. they're wrestling fans out there. They are winning this war right now with DC.
Right.
So, I mean, hell, DC even has a no-joke clause in their films where they don't even want humor. You know, they're like on Nolan's nuts, in my opinion, but whatever. So, so they're going that PG-13 role. The reason why I have a problem with it is because it's loosely based on the story of, I mean, not loosely based, but I can only think of Batman: Assault on Arkham.
Okay.
The animated movie that came out not too long ago, and it was excellent. It was rated R. It even had a love scene in it. It had a love scene. It had language. I mean, it was basically Spawn from HBO. I mean, it was awesome. So when you think Suicide Squad, that's what you think of.
Okay.
So I kind of have a problem with it. I don't think that it was. I don't think it's a safe bet to do it. I wouldn't. I mean, I know why they're doing it, but the Batman vs. Superman's already going to handle a lot of that pressure when it comes to the box office.
Right.
So why not take a risk? Especially when everybody knows that DC is losing. Green Lantern. You don't hate this movie. What else? What else? DC just really doesn't really have anybody.
Well,
they haven't even done anything. After Nolan quit Batman, that's it. And I don't know.
Well, the thing about it is they just started their universe, so you can't have them take that many chances with the universe that you're starting. But like you said, with Assault on Arkham, it was actually an animated movie. It wasn't rated R. It had adult
content. It was a lot like fun.
You can still do that with PG-13. That's not beyond anybody. It was like you watch Marvel movies; they still swear in a Marvel movie, and it's still PG-13. And with that
I'm sorry.
With that also being said, is like, if you think about the Nolan films, none of those were rated R either, and it's like as dark as they got, they still were PG-13 too. So don't stress too much about the PG-13.
I think my problem is the Arkham. I think the Assault on Arkham is too much in my mind.
But it still wasn't rated R. And they still got away with all that stuff in a cartoon, and they didn't go rated R. So I think it's not as bad as you think.
Well, it's not rated, so it can't. It's unrated.
We'll look at that.
Well, we'll look
in the comments below, because I'm sure you guys are gonna put that out there. Like it was, put it in below. All right.
All right. Well, Marvel might be winning the war, and and all that, but they really blew dog when it came to Fantastic Four. So it came to no surprise that Fantastic Four 2 has been canceled.
Yeah.
For right now, anyway.
Kind of happy about that.
Okay, well, here's what I think. I think that, I have not seen the movie. So I did see Silver Surfer the other day, and it was actually not bad. It was better. It was better than people give it credit for, especially Lawrence Fishburne's voice and the Silver Surfer, the way he looked. Everything was pretty bad. But anyway, that's another You Don't Hate This Movie future installment. But for it to be canceled like that, and it's not a surprise to me. You did see this movie,
yeah.
So is it valid?
Okay.
Is there some validity to them deciding this?
All right, so first and foremost, I want to welcome you to 1999 for seeing Silver Surfer. So appreciate you actually kind of getting where we're at right now. But the Fantastic Four, it was bad, and if we ever do that on You Don't Hate This Movie, I'm gonna have a tough time defending that one. But the simple fact that they canceled this movie was we all saw the writing on the wall when we watched the first Fantastic Four. We all saw the flaws in it. We saw a trailer where everything that was in the trailer didn't actually make it into the movie. So we saw a trailer of a different movie than we actually saw on film. So when you ever get around to seeing it, don't watch the trailer because that stuff's not in the movie. But the cancellation of it is actually them kind of saying, like, you know what, we give up, we lost. This is not gonna work. So it's a good thing because it might mean that it's a closer step to actually going back, because we say Marvel when talking about it, but technically it's still a Fox property, or it's a Marvel property that's being done by Fox.
Right.
So it's one step closer to actually going back to Marvel Studios, which it may be a good thing or may not be a good thing, because how much time does Marvel really have to do a Fantastic Four movie when they have so many other properties they're trying to get out right now, like Strange.
But what if they don't? But what if they don't do any kind of origins and they just introduce the characters?
I mean, they could sprinkle them into other different movies and stuff like that.
Without an origin.
That might actually be a great thing. So, but either way, Fox canceling the movie, this is actually a godsend. Thank you, Fox, for not making another Fantastic Four movie, because all it's going to do is going to embarrass you, it's going to embarrass us as comic book fans, because I'm going to want to see it, because I see every comic book movie, even the ones I know are going to be crappy. I still see them, and I don't want to have to go sit through another bad movie just to say that I saw it. So, thanks, Fox. Appreciate it.
All right, so moving on. This one is pretty interesting to me, and now there's a special cross promotion right now with a cognac that was made in 1915,
Right.
and it's actually being brought out now, 100 years later.
Okay.
So they're doing this again. So the cognac that's being made right now will be released in 2115, whatever it is, 100 years from now.
That's math.
So that's math. That's multiplication. So a cross promotion with that was Robert Rodriguez's idea to make a movie called 100 Years that will not premiere for 100 years. So now it's pretty interesting. They gave him silver tickets, like literally silver tickets, so his descendants could go watch this movie. The movie is being placed in a time capsule, and it stars Ben Kingsley, and there's another girl in there. I'm so sorry, I don't know her name, but they're putting this out, and it's an interesting take on actually experiment on waiting 100 years to show this thing.
Right.
What does that say about filmmaking today? Seriously, I mean, what do you think? What do you think about this?
To be honest, it says that we're always looking for a gimmick in filmmaking. Is what it actually says. But when you look at actually the history of filmmaking, to think about 100 years, we don't even have 100 years of filmmaking already. So we can think about like the earliest film, back to the silent films, and we look at the silent films.
We do have 100 years of.
Do we really?
Like, the Chaplin movies were 1900.
Okay, so we barely hit 100 years of filmmaking. All right, so
I told you to go to school.
So if you actually think about those films and how we look at them now with the silence and the frames per second that they were, we kind of look at them like, wow, people actually watch this. So to think about a movie being made today that is going to be shown 100 years from now, it's going to be looked at almost, I mean, it'll be looked at historically, like, oh my God, back in 2015, back in the olden days when they actually didn't have, live 3D images to be on film, and we couldn't bring Tupac back to be in this movie. They're gonna look at this and be like,
but the
wow,
hologram was cool.
But they're gonna look at this and be like, wow, this is really, really old. So I like the gimmick aspect of it. It was like, and it promotes the cognac, but realistically, with saying like my descendants are gonna watch this 100-year-old movie that
your great grandkids.
I mean,
your great.
It's not like I was starring in the movie. It's like, they just got a ticket. I mean, Willy Wonka at least gave you candy, and you got to go right away.
At least theirs was gold.
At least there was gold.
They're getting a golden ticket.
I mean, it's a great promotion for the aspect of actually promoting a cognac. But to say that like I'm gonna watch a movie 100 years from now, I'm not gonna watch the movie. My kids are gonna watch this movie 100 years from now. I don't think they're going to be excited about it when they watch it.
Well, the experiment, surprisingly, maybe not to that extent of 100 years, but it's actually, obviously it's worked.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're talking about it.
No, well, not just that, but I mean, we're talking about, look at Boyhood. They filmed Boyhood in 12 years.
Okay.
And they used the same kid through the entire shoot.
Right.
And the same cast, everybody, the entire shoot. So everybody grew with each other within those 12 years.
Right.
And it was nominated for an Oscar.
Nice.
So it was nominated for quite a bit of Oscars, if I remember right.
Yeah.
So the experiment can work, but 100 years, that's just...
Yeah, so when you show me the person that can go with the cognac and in 100 years say like, I was here, I bottled this, and now I'm drinking it, then I'll be more excited about this.
I think I need to get drunk to... I need to drink some of that cognac right now.
There you go. So
to taste and see if it's worth 100
we have
years.
the 1915 cognac.
Yeah, give me the 1915 cognac and see if it's worth waiting 100 years for the next 100 anniversary of it. So this one was actually I was kind of glad we did it this way. We saw we mentioned and we talked about it in episode 1 about Creed.
Yeah.
And potentially being the potentially being the best film of 2015. For me, it's still Straight Outta Compton. But we saw it last night, and the best part of it, to be honest with you, was actually watching Rocky IV first.
Right. That was great.
We saw Rocky IV on the big screen yesterday, and when you watch the movie, and then you walk into Creed. Now, obviously, you can't see it on big screen. That's okay, but if you watch the movie with the content fresh in your mind and you watch Creed, it's a perfect companion piece. It's like it goes really, really good together. Now, you were a big advocate of this movie when we were talking about it in the last show. Mm-hmm. All right. So, did it disappoint? What did you think? What did you think?
I loved this movie. I actually did not have too many flaws with this movie. I'd say first episode, #1 movie of 2015. Straight Outta Compton still beats it, but it is a great film. It's a great film. I think that it had a high potential to actually disappoint, and I think that put more pressure on it than it actually did with Straight Outta Compton. Straight Outta Compton was like, we didn't know what we were really going to get. We knew we were going to talk about NWA, but with Creed, it had so much legacy to build on, and it had so much that it had to attain. To where, like, if it was a bad movie, it was going to be a bad movie. It wasn't going to be like, oh, I didn't quite like it. It was going to be like, oh, I didn't quite like it, and it wasn't Rocky 4. Oh, I didn't quite like it, and it wasn't Rocky 3, or it wasn't Rocky 1. It was one of those things where, like, it had so far to fall if it wasn't a good movie, and it did what I expected it to be. I went into that movie thinking, like, I expected to see so many things. I expected to feel this way. I expected to see this, and the character had to be this way, and they hit everything that I wanted them to hit. And I'm trying not to be too spoiler with it.
Really?
So, but the simple fact is that it gave me everything that I expected out of the movie, and I walked out of it like, especially like you said, after seeing Rocky IV, with that background to it. And I want to say that you don't have to see the previous Rockies to enjoy Creed, but if you could at least see Rocky IV, I think it would benefit to see Creed, because at least you get the little backstory of like how those themes transcended. Yeah, they're transcended. We'll say transcended. How they moved on to Creed.
I went to school.
So how they moved on to Creed, and because they don't hit you over the head with them, but they do kind of mention them. And if you hadn't seen Rocky IV, you're kind of probably not going to pick up on them. So by seeing Rocky IV, I think that was a big benefit. So if you can see it before you see Creed, please do.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was amazing. And there are so many things when you're watching it. First of all, kudos to Coogler, I think his name was, the director. He did a great job. He did Fruitvale Station. He reunited with Michael B. Jordan from Fruitvale Station and did an amazing job. I think Stallone producing it was good in it, but the fact that he was taking out of the writing and he was taking out of the director's chair, it made him focus solely on his character that he created himself.
Right.
So that's why I think, because I'm gonna tell you right now, Sylvester Stallone's performance was amazing in this movie. So yeah. I think because he had all of that extra baggage taken off of him, I think that his performance was a little bit more fluid. He put a little bit more into it, and it paid off. It paid off tremendously with his performance. The acting was amazing. Michael B. Jordan did an amazing job. The fact that he actually resembled Carl Weathers was great.
That was great. I love the mustache.
I love the mustache. Yeah, well, you like the mustache one. He's trying to bust the Creed. He's trying to bust the Creed thing. I'm trying to work the Cantinflas mustache, but it's not working. Anyway, yeah, the performances were great, and if you really think about it, it really does mirror Rocky 1.
Yeah, it does.
It mirrors Rocky 1 in a lot of sense. I'm not going to give you any spoilers or anything, but it really mirrors it from the beginning to the end, really. There are some subtle similarities to Rocky 1. That's why I think it works so much. It stays within the lore of Rocky, stays in that Rocky universe, and it executes it all wonderfully. I think it's the second best movie of 2015.
Third best movie.
Anyway, so do you think it's number one?
Well,
this Thanksgiving weekend.
This weekend it will be. It definitely will be this weekend. I mean, to be honest, it really doesn't have much competition to go up against this weekend. So, with that being said, everybody, I mean, young and old, are Rocky fans. So, they'll at least go out and give it a look. And once they actually see it and once the word of mouth gets out there about the movie, I mean, it's I'm not sure how well it's going to do, but it's definitely going to be number one.
I've got The Good Dinosaur. I got The Good Dinosaur as number one. I've still got it. I want Creed to. I want for sympathy reasons, because I love the franchise so much, and I love Stallone. So I really want it to be number one, but I just have a feeling that the families are really going to come out and continue the streak, of Disney movies around this time. In the last couple of years with Frozen, Big Hero 6, and now The Good Dinosaur. So that's my pick for number one.
That's a good point, and I probably didn't even think about that, but I will say though the marketing has been probably a little bit harder with Creed than it has been with Good Dinosaur, and I think that might be what it edges it out. So it had a little bit more marketing.
What you hate about it?
What I didn't like? The only thing that I didn't like about it was, and like I said, try not to be too spoiler with, is that I feel like in every other Rocky movie, we knew more about who he was facing, and in this particular movie, we kind of got that aspect on him, but we got it at the end of the movie, and it kind of left him a little lackluster. I mean, it was a great fight between them, and I'm not saying who won, but it was a great fight between them, and but leading up to it was really more about Michael B. Jordan, which was a great thing because his character needed to be built, but I kind of missed the simple fact that it didn't have enough put on the actual opponent, and
you really didn't care.
I mean,
you didn't really invest in the opponent.
Yeah, it was more about I want to see how he does.
Yeah, and it's not. I mean, there was a couple. His first fight was good. I'll leave it at that.
That was probably the best fight,
but not to take anything away from the last. And we're not going to spoil anything. But it was still, the fact that Stallone and the director, brought on real fighters again. Antonio Tarver was the last one, and Tommy Gunn before him, or Tommy Morrison actually.
In this movie, we got Andre Ward.
Yeah, and Bellows, the kid Bellows.
Yeah,
I think he's a real boxer too. So they gave some pretty good performances. So kudos to you guys because y'all did an amazing job. I loved it, and I hope it really does well. Good luck. All right. So moving on and staying pretty much on topic here. I mean, on topic, but with the Rocky universe, you think about what it did for Stallone, and you think about the action and all this other good stuff. So, tell me, or I should say, it is now time Now you really blew dog too.
Yeah.
For last time, and
Alright,
I hope you're a little bit prepared.
I brought a notepad. What are you talking about?
So it's time for the top 5.
I guess I'm gonna put a song in there for that. For your, maybe I should just amplify your.
All right. So now we're in the millennials times and all this other good stuff. So we really don't have too many action stars the way we did back in the 70s and 80s and maybe even 90s for the most part. I think the action hero is dead.
Okay.
I really do. And if you're not going back to what worked, if you're not going back to the well to pull out, you're not really. There aren't any really, except of course for the great one himself, The Rock. That would probably be the closest person that I could think of as an action movie star, superstar. But yeah, there aren't that many now. So
I would actually disagree with you as far as like now.
Who would beat The Rock?
I think the up and coming. Obviously, The Rock is one. The up and comers are, or maybe not even the up and comers, but the people that are out there right now would be The Rock, would be Jason Statham.
Jason Statham? How? Okay, and I love Jason Statham. But as far as franchises go, he did Crank and Transporter, and they did okay, but it's more of a cult following. They weren't box office hits.
Did you see War?
Yes, I saw War. It was actually pretty good. They got some good fights.
Did you see Fast and Furious?
But I'm talking about, he did one. He did one Fast and Furious.
We're in 4 franchises right now.
Wait a minute, but I'm talking about global box office. Okay. He has not been the action superstar global box office that, and you mentioned Fast and Furious, that The Rock and Vin Diesel. I would say Vin Diesel maybe.
The other and unfortunately with his passing, Paul Walker. Come on, Paul Walker did action movies as well.
But they weren't big.
He did Brick Mansions. He did.
They didn't do anything. I love Paul Walker, and he got much love.
And I'm trying to think of the one where he was on the run. What was that? What was the name of that movie?
Running Scared.
Running Scared. Brick Mansions.
Running Scared. Bad title, first of all, because that makes me think of Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal.
It's a different movie.
Sweetie,
different movie. But just to say, so I don't think the action star for nowadays is dead. I just think that
the box office action star is the box office
where you
action
can like draw them in.
Yes,
I don't even believe that.
The Rock. That's it.
No, I don't even believe that because you're just thinking it's like you want them to be specifically okay. So one you mentioned Vin Diesel, one you mentioned The Rock. You automatically know those two will pull them in, right? You automatically know that. But then we got Jerry Action. We got Tom Cruise still out there doing it.
Yes, there you go. That's my point. That's digging in the well. You got to get Tom. I'm talking about new.
Okay.
New.
You got to get these guys time to come up.
I don't care.
You got to get these guys time to come up.
I went first the last time.
All right, so I'm gonna go first.
You're gonna go first because you're actually prepared this time.
My top 5 action guys.
Top 5 action guys.
All right, so I don't want to run this out too long, so I'm actually just going to give you my list, and the names on my list. I don't think we need to run through their whole filmography.
No, you don't.
Okay, cool.
I mean, you can give some subtleties there. Right. You don't have to go through the whole Wikipedia.
All right, so we'll go number 5. I'll go in order. We'll go number 5.
Okay.
Or we'll reverse order. We'll go number 5, and I'm gonna say Jean-Claude Van Damme. Jean-Claude Van Damme, the epitome of action film star. The epitome of action. I do it because I know it eats at him. The epitome of action film star. There's like so many movies. Bloodsport, Kickboxer, Time Cop, Sudden Death,
That's it.
Hard Target.
He had 3 good movies.
Double Impact.
He had 3 good movies. He had Kickboxer, Bloodsport, and Time Cop. Actually, Time Cop was really good.
Time Cop was great.
Time Cop was great. That's it. Hard Target. Why did they name you Chance? Oh, my mom took one. That's stupid. He sucked.
That is classic.
He
action
sucked.
movie
I'm sorry.
Lines. Classic action movie lines.
No.
All right.
No.
So
Double Team. What about when he freaking jumps out and he turns into the basketball? That's like an offense wins the game. That's stupid. That movie sucked, and he sucks.
Okay, so you picked out.
I love Van Damme, but he sucks a little bit.
He picked out one bad movie. All right. So number 4, Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan's a great action star. And actually, it's very, very sad that it took so long for him to be recognized here in the States. He did so many movies over in
Hong Kong.
Yeah, thank you. I couldn't get it out. In Hong Kong, the Once Upon a Time in China. The series, that series was great. The Police Story series. That series. Mm-hmm. Oh shit, that was Jet Li. I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna correct you on TV, but
I'm sorry, my bad. All right, so we're at Jet Li on here. Jackie Chan / Jet Li. But the Police Story series, I mean, that series went on for what, like 5-6 different films.
That's what we went on for.
And then, you know, we got them over here, and they basically made American versions of those over here with Super Cop and Rumble in the Bronx and First Strike. You got to finally see those Police Story films over here. And the tuxedo. And hell, I recently found out that he was in a Fist of Legend.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's one of those things where
I love Jackie Chan.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, so Jackie Chan.
He was like one of the highlights of Cannonball Run.
Yeah, Jackie Chan's on the list. All right, so number 3 for me, Bruce Willis.
Good pick.
Bruce Willis. I mean, all of the Die Hard films. Last Man Standing.
Pulp Fiction.
I mean, Bruce Willis. I think he's the everyman.
Do you think that he plays Bruce Willis in every movie?
He plays Bruce Willis.
You know, like Vaughn here. You know, Vaughn is Vaughn in every movie.
Plays,
Kevin Hart is the new Vince Vaughn.
But we want to see him be Bruce Willis in every movie. That's the whole point. We want to see Fifth Element. We want to see him.
He wasn't Bruce Willis in Sixth Sense though. That was he was really good.
But then that wasn't an action movie.
That was horror.
Okay.
All right. Anyway,
so, different topic. All right, 2. All right, number 2, Schwarzenegger. What? Why did it take me to 2? I mean, why is Schwarzenegger at 2? It's because somebody's better at 1. But Schwarzenegger is my number 2. Schwarzenegger, like, he was my childhood of action movies.
I got. He is an agreement.
He is how I learned how to do one-liners. He is how I learned how to quote movies. And for a man who barely could speak English when he got here, who went on to do the greatest action movies of all time, Commando, Predator, Terminator,
Running Man.
Running Man. I'll still give him credit for Running Man. But he did the greatest action films of all time. You still watch these movies. My kids watch these. Well, they see a little bit of
his movies are remade.
Yeah, his movies are remade. And simple fact that even though that they remake these movies, we still harken back to what he did in the original movies. These movies can't be copied. So that's why I put him at number 2. You know, post-Governor thing, maybe not so great. But before that, 1980s, Schwarzenegger ruled it. All right. And then number 1, Bruce. Come on. Why don't we even discuss what number 1 is? Bruce is number 1.
I am shocked.
Bruce is number 1.
I am shocked.
Bruce is just 5 movies.
You did not. You put Van Damme ahead of Stallone?
5 movies. 5 movies. And we're not talking about number 5. 5 movies, and he didn't even finish the 5th one. 5 movies, and he is an icon. He's a legend. I mean, these were the greatest.
He's a god.
Exactly. So there is nobody that you can put in front of him.
Nobody.
There is nobody.
Not even Chuck Norris.
Exactly. You can.
And he pissed on the truck and made Optimus Prime.
So those are my top 5. Because now I was prepared. So now let's go ahead and hear what your 5 are.
Oh, I was on the spot. I don't know if I'm ready for this. I was on the spot. Okay.
I'm glad you did, because I'm gonna edit all that out.
Alright, so number 5 for me is Steven Seagal.
Alright, so he went on a JCVD rant. I want to just go please.
But I'm just going by Above the Law, Hard to Kill, Out for Justice, Marked for Death,
On
and
Daily Ground.
Siege.
On Daily Ground.
Those 5.
On Daily Ground.
You want to talk 5 movies? Those were freaking awesome. And the freaking pool fight scene in Out for Justice was awesome.
The Glimmer Man. On Daily Ground.
I don't own the Glimmer Man. Hey, Keenan though. Okay, alright, so number 4.
Thank you.
Number 4 was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay.
Now, I love Arnold. I think everything that you said about Arnold was absolutely correct. And I think that had he not gone into politics, his action career would have actually gotten a little bit better.
I think so too.
Because of his views, because of things that he said, I think that affected him when he came back. And the movies that he's done since have all tanked, for the most part. I mean, even Expendables. Well, maybe 2 did okay, but other than that, I mean, they've all tanked.
2 had JCVD in.
Yeah, he was actually pretty good. But I really wish that when Rocky was punching him, or when Barney was punching him, Stallone, when he was punching him, that he would have done the splits, and bam, that would have been an awesome scene. Because everybody wants to see the splits, right?
He did it once.
He never did the splits. He only did the roundhouse.
Oh, that's right, with the knife.
Yeah, the Frank Dukes roundhouse. All right, so anyway, so number 3, Bruce Willis.
Okay.
And I agree everything what you said on that. Bruce Willis was awesome, and then the directors that he worked with actually made him better as an actor as things went on. Mm-hmm. And he made the most of Die Hard 4 going into PG-13 when we were talking about rated R's and PG-13 callbacks right there. Mm-hmm. And he made the most of it. And Die Hard, Live Free or Die Hard is actually probably one of the best of the Die Hard series.
Oh, yeah, don't ever say that.
I'm sorry, it is.
Die Hard with a Vengeance is the best.
No, Die Hard with a Vengeance is the best. It is the best. But it's a pretty good movie. You know, like Live Free or Die Hard was really good. Number 2 was Sylvester Stallone, and I cannot believe that you did not have Sly on your freaking top 5. Loving Creed and all this crap he said,
I do.
And you didn't even have Sly on the freaking top 5. Anyway.
Sly was number 6.
You're right. Sylvester Stallone is probably one of the greatest action stars of all time. He has gotten 3 franchises to himself by himself with box office success on all of them, for the most part, anyway. Mm-hmm. Did he go down a little bit? Of course, he did, but still, he came back at an older age and created another franchise in The Expendables. Right. You know. The thing that sets Sylvester Stallone apart from everybody is the fact that he's a writer. Mm-hmm. And because he's a writer, he knows dialogue, he knows scripts, he knows all that, and he is the only action star that I can think off the top of my head that has an Oscar for writing. So that is why the longevity of Sylvester Stallone, and you'll see when you watch Creed, you see that performance, you'll know what I'm talking about. And I will not be surprised if he gets nominated for an Oscar for this role, by the way.
Okay. Yeah.
I think
did a great.
I think it'll go to Jason Mitchell, who played Eazy-E. That's just my opinion, but we'll see. Oh. And my number 1 is, of course, the icon, the god, the best in the world, Bruce Lee.
Yes.
Absolutely, one of the biggest influences in my life when I was growing up. Bruce was very philosophical. He wrote a lot. He created his own martial art, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
So he is just the best. He's the raised the bar that high that everybody's trying to reach him. Mm-hmm. And hey, you know what? Special shout out to his son too, because I think Brandon Lee would have been awesome. I think he would have been a big success. But yeah, Bruce Lee is number 1 for me, and I think there's some decent ones that The Rock's gonna be in there one day. We'll talk about Mount Rushmores later.
I had honorable mentions like Wesley Snipes. I wanted to add into it. I wanted to put Sylvester on it.
I can't believe you did. Okay, well, that's all the time that we have for today. If you like, I'm sorry, that's you.
All right, well, make sure you please give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to subscribe and comment below. And I guess next week we'll see you here again. And my name is Terrence.
I'm Manny, and that was the goods.
Record. I'm just saying, I'm just testing out.
This get outtakes too,
This might as well get outtakes, right?
Might as well get outtakes.
Okay, so today on. I had to think about what the fuck I was going to say.
Why do you always laugh when I hit record?
Okay. That's all the time that we have for today.
Alright, please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and don't forget to subscribe and comment, blah, 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 blah. Blah.
That's all the time that we have for today.
Alright, please give this video, stop. I wasn't done laughing, hold on, wait. Alright, we're gonna do it again, Aspen. I got
I'm dying.
You need a woosah, exactly.
I wasn't done laughing for the first time.
Ugh,
I got it. Alright.
So it like shit.
Okay. Are we in frame? Are we okay? Well, that's gonna be all the time that we have for today.
Hey guys, please. Fucking shit.
I had that down perfect.
Totally fucked.
God.
Yes, you know what's funny is that he was giving me crap for the friggin' beginning,
I know,
and now he can't even finish.
I know, but
he can't close again.
This is not gonna be
Yikes.
in the latest scenes. All right.
That's all the time that we're gonna have today.
All right, make sure, guys, you give this on. Oh, fucking shit! What the fuck, man?
That's what you get. That's what you get for making fun of me on the beginning. You.
All right, I'm good. Give us 2 seconds. We're gonna do this again. Oh.
When I get out of here, I need to do something.
So when I get the video, I'm gonna screenshot that.